This car was very practical, but why? In those times, the people used to travel with their family, their chauffeurs, and all of their crowd. So they needed a car that could be spacious and could carry a lot of people. So then they needed to make more and more cars, so they moved their factory there in the UK always. Then they adopted a mascot. Many of us may know it. This mascot is the Spirit of Ecstasy that was made by a French sculptor. With the time, they started to have more and more success. The war came, and suddenly they have to make a decision. Since Charles Rolls had died in an airplane accident, and the government asked Henry Royce to make airplanes, he didn't want it to do because of that reason. And then, at the end,
Please raise your hand, those who know about Margaret Thatcher. Okay, thank you. Now, for those who didn't know, I'm going to tell you the story of her. Margaret Thatcher was the UK Prime Minister for almost 12 years. Margaret Thatcher obtained the nickname Iron Lady because she believed in being a strong leader. Margaret Thatcher was born in Grantham, October 13 of 1925. Her father was a local businessman and also managed his own school. Margaret Thatcher learned on early and local politics because her father served as both alderman and mayor of the city. Margaret Thatcher attended Oxford University and obtained a degree in chemistry. Then, she wanted to run for the office for the first time. She did it twice, losing both times. Because she was a conservative, she didn't have much
Although by
opportunity.
Teresa Manco, Banksy was born on 1974. He was the son of a photocopy technician and trained to be a butcher. But on the Bristol great aerosol boom in the 1980s, he decided to use his life to paint graffiti everywhere in the world. Also, one day, on a very important London newspaper, they publicated a very important news, which some liked, but some didn't. The news said, "En masse at last, the great Banksy graffiti art terrorist finally found." It said that this was Banksy. A photo was supposedly of Robbie Cunningham, the man who was supposed to be Banksy. Banksy didn't really care. He didn't care what they thought, if he was wrong or not. He didn't care if they criticized his style.
He was born in 1540 and then in 27th January 1596. He was from Queen Elizabeth I era. Queen Elizabeth I declared him a knighthood in 1581. In 1588, he named himself then he arrived again to Plymouth 26 September 1580 aboard Golden Hind. This is the model of the Golden Hind. And in that same year, before April 1581, Queen Elizabeth I declared him a knighthood aboard the Golden Hind. Now I will explain you how was the two ships used. This is a replica from the Pelican. This is a replica from the Golden Hind. Thank you for your attention.
The tower is now officially called Elizabeth Tower after being renamed in tribute to the Queen Elizabeth. And this was said as being an appropriate idea because another big tower located in London, now known as the Victoria Tower, was renamed in tribute to the Queen Victoria. So, on September 12th of last year, the change of the name was announced. It is the third tallest
which were green and yellow. In 1888, they passed to be a founder of a regional football league called the Combination, and in 1895, they became independent from the railway company. Then, in 1902, with debts of £2,670, the team was almost bankrupt, but Captain Harry Stafford searched for 4 local businessmen who invested £500 each in the club instead of running it. So, in April 24, 1902, Manchester United was born. Then, in 1908, under Ernest Magnell management, Manchester United won its first Premier League and FA Cup title. And then in 1927, Manchester United was in bankrupt again. And James Gibson decided to invest £2,000 in the club, and he took control of it. Now, let's go after World War II. In 1948, Sir Matt Busby took manager duties and asked for training sessions, player transfers, and selection.
I'm my personal favorite, Pride of Prayers, which she wrote when she was 21 years old. Have you guessed who is this character? Well, the character I'm speaking about is Jane Austen. Jane Austen was born on 16 December 1775 in Steventon, New Hampshire, which is located in England, and died on 18 July 1817 in Winchester, which is also located in England, because of tuberous cancer disease, which is a derivative form of the epidemic typhus. Jane Austen's parents were George Austen and Cassandra Lake. Both were members of substantial country families. George belonged to a family of woolen manufacturers, and Cassandra was a member of the prominent Lake family. Jane Austen's family was really big. They were 10 in total. She had 6 brothers, and you imagine, James, George, Edward, Henry, Frank, and Charles, and one sister, Cassandra Elizabeth, who like Jane died unmarried. Cassandra was Jane's closest friend throughout her life. From her brother, she felt the closest with Henry, who was a vampire, and when his man closed, he became a clergyman as his father and his sister Adrian. Now, talking about her education, in 1783, Jane and her sister were sent to Oxford for being educated by Miss Macaulay. In this period of time, both girls caught a very serious disease called typhus. In this case, Jane almost died when she was barely 8 years old. She was subsequently educated at home until sent for boarding school with her sister by the beginning of 1785. By December 1786, both girls needed to return home because the Austens couldn't afford their education.
What the Queen says. Now, you might be wondering, what's the role of the submarine? Well, that's easy. The submarine has 2 main roles, head of state and head of nation. The Queen undertakes representational and constitutional duties, such as meetings, visiting other countries, and supporting economic and political situations. The Queen also plays a big part in the church. She is known as the defender of faith. This is because she supports all kinds of religious practices in the UK. But don't forget that the Queen also plays a big part in the law. She is known as the founder of justice. And until today, the sovereign still maintains a big, important, symbolic role of those whose name is carried out in justice. Now that we have talked about how it works, monarchy, and what's the role of the sovereign, what's the role of the royal family? Well, the royal family not only supports the Queen and the national duties, but also carry out duties as well, such as charitable and public services. The closest member to the Queen carry out the most important duties. Now that we have learned this, I would like to mention some of the great celebration for British television. It is a family show. The creator, Paul Crewe, created it thinking on how to teach kids about science and about history in a very fun way. The reason of why it's called Doctor Who, it's because it's a catchphrase. Every time the doctor introduces himself, it says, "I am the doctor," and the companions or the new characters are like, "Doctor Who?" And that's where it comes from. The doctor. The doctor is the main character of the series. The Doctor is known for its mystery because nobody knows who the Doctor is. The 50th anniversary this year, it is based on that, the name of the Doctor. The Doctor is a Time Lord humanoid alien who is the last of his kind, and it is known for the ability of regeneration, which means that when the Doctor is wounded fatally, which will kill most humans, he has the ability of changing body and changing personality. Here are pictures of the person that first played the Doctor ever, who was William Hartnell, and who is playing the 11th Doctor currently, Matthew Smith.
Is it any university you're thinking of? Any goal? Any place? What are you thinking? I know, you may be thinking, I'm too young, we are lower seniors, we still have 6, 5, 4 years, but time passes very quickly. Look at us, we are already in the 4th monthly, and 7th graders are going to be 8th graders, 6th graders are going to be 7th graders, and 8th graders, we are going to be 9th graders. And time passes so quickly that we have to walk at the same speed of the time. So I brought today a opportunity, an option, a university, the University of Cambridge. The one that are from the 3rd road and so on, you can see, if you put your hand up, you can see that there's a chart that says University of Cambridge. Our school is associated with it, so it's great advantage. What is the University of Cambridge? The history. I know you may be thinking why it's Oxford University here. The history is that Cambridge University was created from a group of scholars of the Oxford. It's located in Cambridge, in the United Kingdom. It was created in 1209, and it's well known as the second oldest in the English-speaking world. About Cambridge. Cambridge has performed in several times in various league tables over the years. He achieved the first step in the 2012 and 2011. About the courses of this university. It has a variety incredible of courses.
Whiskers, which really don't get their name from the town Penshire, but actually from Dr. Abernathy, who decided to put sugar and caraway seeds into the plain biscuit, and of course, a biscuit is a cookie. The black bun. This is usually served at Hogmanay or New Year's Eve. Strangely, it uses lard, which is fat from the pig. Also, the most particular part is the currants. The final product is shown there. The most modern recipe is the Macadam's Whiskey Chocolate Pudding. The chef was Donald Angus Munro. This uses chocolate powder and, as the name says, whiskey, Macadam's if possible. The final product is shown there. Now, I would like you to enjoy the oat cakes.